Do you want to use AI or ChatGPT to dominate social media and turn your online presence into profit? Well, this episode is going to show you how to use things like ChatGPT, specifically GPT 4.0 and 5.0, and other models to craft engaging posts, design effective ad campaigns, and manage your social media strategy effortlessly. Discover how to make money with ChatGPT and other AI models by scaling your social media marketing efforts and building a powerful brand, ultimately showing how to make money with AI, ChatGPT, in the digital age. Look, you're spending 3 hours writing a single Instagram caption. You're staring at a blank screen, deleting, rewriting, deleting again. Meanwhile, someone else out there has made money before lunch using a tool you have free access to right now. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to using AI or ChatGPT to scale your social media marketing efforts and build a powerful brand, ultimately enabling you to make money, really the difference isn't talent. It certainly isn't luck. Maybe it's a little bit of luck. It's that most people don't know how to weaponize AI or ChatGPT for social media, not as a crutch, but as a force multiplier that turns your content from invisible to algorithmic gold. And here's what no one's telling you. The AI isn't doing the work, you are. It's just doing it 10 times faster, which means you can test 10 times as many angles, 10 times as many hooks, 10 times as many campaigns. Compound that across 6 months. And you're not competing anymore. You're operating at a completely different level, in a different league. Let's start with the brutal truth about social media marketing in 2026. The platforms do not care how hard you worked on your post. Sorry, they just don't. They care about one thing and one thing only: engagement velocity in the first hour. Yeah, if your post doesn't trigger saves or shares or comments or watch time within 60 minutes of going live, it's going to die. The algorithm is going to bury it. Your audience, they're not going to see it. You've wasted your time effectively. Most creators know this intellectually, but they build their entire workflow around it. That's where tools like ChatGPT and other AI tools become your unfair advantage. The game, I think, starts here. Caption engineering, not copywriting, engineering, because there's a difference. A copywriter tries to write the perfect caption. An engineer knows that there is no perfect caption, but there are only multiple variations that need rapid testing. And this is where prompt engineering becomes a real skill. When you use AI and ChatGPT correctly, you stop writing one caption and you get 5, 10, 20 variations within 90 seconds. Each one tests a different psychological trigger, a curiosity gap, urgency, social proof, a pattern interrupt, or just raw emotional contrast. One of them will always outperform the others. Your job is to find out which one. Here's the actual system. You paste your core message into ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're going to be using, not a description, a specific prompt that sounds something like this. I'm posting about a new AI tool that saves freelancers 5 hours a week. Generate 12 captions for Instagram. Each one should use a different hook. Curiosity gap, contradiction, statistic first, question format, micro story, forbidden knowledge vibe, before and after narrative, social proof angle, identity base, scarcity trigger, pattern interrupt, and vulnerability first. Make each one 1 to 3 sentences. Include relevant emojis and make them native to Instagram, not promotional. And press enter. ChatGPT then outputs 12 captions instantly. You go ahead and read through them. Maybe 6 of them feel authentic to your voice. Maybe 2 feel genuinely interesting. You post one. You analyze the engagement. Tomorrow, you post another. You're collecting data. The AI is not replacing you. It's automating the grunt work so you can focus on the strategic layer, which is understanding which psychological triggers resonate with your specific audience. This is how people scale to 100K followers while still working a day job. They're not posting more content. They're posting smarter content because they're running mini experiments instead of just hoping. And here's where most people stop. And it's where the real money, I think, gets left on the table. Ad campaigns are where the leverage completely explodes. And ChatGPT isn't just useful for ad copy, it's useful for the entire campaign architecture. Let's say you have a digital product. Maybe it's an online course. Maybe it's a coaching offer, whatever it is. And you need to run ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, Google ads. Each platform has different native formats. They have different character limits. They have different psychologies that work. Most creators write one ad and they boost it across all the platforms and they watch it flop because TikTok native copy looks different from Facebook native copy. Here's what you need to do instead. You want to build an AI prompt or a chat GPT prompt that sounds something like this. I'm running ads for a productivity course, whatever your course is, that teaches people to batch their work and reclaim 10 hours per week. The target audience is freelancers aged, 28 to 45, earning 50K to 150K annually, who feel time poor and success hungry. Create 3 ad variations for each of these platforms: Facebook feed, Instagram stories, TikTok, Google search, and LinkedIn. For each platform, optimize the copy for the native format, the character limits, and the cultural tone. Each ad should lead to a landing page. Write a hook, a mechanism section that explains the core benefit, and a CTA that includes urgency. For TikTok, include a viral angle. For LinkedIn, include authority positioning. For Google, include keyword-aware language, and press enter. ChatGPT is going to build you like 15 ad variations. You take those into the Meta Ads Manager, pick 3 to 5 of them, and then run them simultaneously across different platforms at $5 to $10 per day. Within a week, you have data. Maybe one variation just completely crushed it and you made 8 sales. That's your winner. You scale that and you kill the losers. You turned ad creation from a one-time guessing game into a systematic testing operation. And if you're running those on Meta, make sure your conversion API, the CAPI, is properly set up, because that's how Meta accurately tracks your conversions in the post-iOS world. Without it, your cost acquisition data is unreliable and you're going to be scaling blind. Most people running ads right now are running one ad that they hope will work. That's like throwing darts in the dark. You are going to be turning on the lights and you're going to be throwing 15 darts at the same time. But, and this is crucial, there's a hidden cost here that no one out there mentions. When you systematize content creation with AI, you also systematize mediocrity if you're not careful. The system works beautifully, but only if you feed it good strategy. If your core offer is weak, I'm sorry, AI and ChatGPT just can't fix that. If your landing page converts at 1%, no amount of AI-generated captions are going to move the needle. Your AI amplifies what's already there. Good strategy becomes great. Bad strategy becomes noticeably bad faster, which is actually valuable information, but let's be honest, that information is going to sting. So there's also a peculiar trap that happens around month 3 when you start doing this. You'll have so much content flowing, you'll have so many variations and so many ad angles that you'll start confusing activity with results. You'll have maybe 47 pieces of content scheduled, 8 active ad campaigns, 100 email nurture sequences, and your revenue will be flat, right? Maybe you're making decent money, but it's plateaued because you've optimized for output, not conversion. The machine is running. You're just not watching the bottom line. This is where most AI side hustlers and micro business owners die. They scale the wrong metric. So you need a second system running parallel to the first. Let's call it your conversion audit. Every 2 weeks, you need to look at this. Of all the traffic you generated last week, how many people actually bought? How many people actually engaged with you in a buying conversation, even if they didn't buy? And what was the cost per acquisition? Which piece of content sent the highest quality traffic? Not the most traffic, the highest quality traffic. Which ad variation had the best ROAS, return on ad spend? Now you're looking for the signal underneath all the noise. AI and ChatGPT can help here too. You can pull data from Google Analytics 4, GA4, and paste your raw analytics into ChatGPT or any other AI and say, here's my traffic data for last week. I generated 8,432 clicks across 12 pieces of content and 6 ad campaigns, and whatever the numbers are for you. I made 12 sales totaling whatever it was you sold. Maybe it's 12K, right, in revenue. Help me identify which pieces of content and ad variations generated the highest quality traffic, the lowest cost per acquisition, and the highest repeat purchase rate from these specific sources. Yeah. And press enter and watch that magic. ChatGPT is going to analyze the data and it's going to tell you something like your TikTok video about the hidden cost of productivity tools sent 892 clicks and converted 8 people. Cost per acquisition, $111. Your Facebook ad about the 5-hour work week sent 3,420 clicks and converted 2 people. Cost per acquisition, $1,440. Suddenly, the weak spots are like staring you. They're like blinking lights right in your face. You know what to kill. and you know what to scale. And here's where it gets a little more uncomfortable, though, and why the best creators in the space are anxious about what comes next. The barrier to entry is gone. I mean, base ChatGPT is free. Everyone has access to that system now, which means the floor of content quality everywhere is rising. The person who used to stand out by writing decent captions themselves now stands out by writing exceptional ones. The only way to write exceptional ones is to understand the deep structure of why certain messages work, and then use ChatGPT to execute that structure at scale. The AI just amplified the skill gap. It didn't close it. Heck, it actually just made it more visible. This means your competitive advantage is not AI. It's not ChatGPT. Your competitive advantage is your strategy. It's your audience knowledge and your ability to see patterns in what work. ChatGPT is just another tool that lets you test your hypothesis faster than anyone else. The final layer that separates the six-figure creators from the struggling ones is what happens after you have a system that works for you. You'll have to have a proven offer, a proven funnel, and content that converts. You could just keep running it, make money on autopilot, and some people do, but the people making the real money, well, I'm talking to 30K, 50K, 100K month kind of numbers, they use AI and ChatGPT to build a second system and then a third. They're not scaling one thing. They're cloning their system that they've proven works across different audiences, different platforms, and different offers. You create a productized service. You use AI and ChatGPT to build a SOP, a standard operating procedure for social media management. You document the entire process, how you generate captions, how you build ad campaigns, and how you audit conversion. And then you package it and you sell it. Suddenly, you have a service business. You're not selling your time. You're selling a repeatable system that other people buy. And tools like Zapier and Make.com let you automate the handoffs between the steps in your system. So the system runs even when you're not watching it. Or try this. You build a digital product. You build a course on a platform like Kajabi. Or you create a template library on Gumroad, a Slack bot, or whatever that teaches people your system. You use AI or ChatGPT to build the curriculum outline, the lesson scripts, the email sequences, the upsells, and you launch it. You set up Stripe for payments, and if it works, you just created leveraged income where you're paid multiple times for work you did once. And this is the trap that no one wants to talk about because it sounds good until you realize it. When AI or when ChatGPT is easy enough that you can build multiple systems, the question stops being, can I build this? And it starts to become, should I? What do I really want? And the song comes in my hand. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Most people burn out because they keep building more and more, thinking scale is the answer. It's not. Clarity is the answer. The people who build one system really, really well and run it sustainably will always beat the person who builds 5 systems half-heartedly and threads the needle trying to manage all of them at the same time. So here's what actually happens to people who use this system over the next 6 to 12 months. They'll build one thing. They'll prove that it works. They'll make money, real money, not $1,000 here, but maybe 5 figures, let's say. And they'll get scared that if they don't scale it, they'll miss out. So they will start building the second thing and then the third thing. And a year later, they're juggling so much that they're actually back to square one, stressed out and making less money because they're spread so damn thin. The paradox is that the barrier to entry being 0 also means that the barrier to decision is infinite. You can build anything. You can build everything. And the system really starts to collapse under its own ambition. The invisible hand at work here is that AI and ChatGPT gives you the capacity. What you do with that capacity determines whether or not you win or lose. Most people don't think about that part. You have an unfair advantage right now. Most of your competition doesn't understand that consistency beats perfection, kicks its butt every damn time, and testing beats intuition, and that leverage compounds over months, not days. You do. You can build a social media presence that makes real money using tools that are totally free. You can systematize it. You can scale it, and you can sell it, but only if you remember that the AI that you use isn't the asset. Your strategy is. The AI just executes that strategy faster. The thing no one tells you about leverage is that it works both ways. Think successfully and take action.